Hello and welcome to a new video where I want to cover some things about the setup and also about a video I saw recently made by Yorkie about the TrackIR. So let's have a look. First off, when I boot my system, I have a lot of apps I want to have running, and so I don't forget to start up any of them. I've made a little .bat file, .bat, in Windows, and it boots 6 apps and opens the iRacing members website. I have it right here, and just press it here.
Radio check.
Turn on the tablet, and I have a tablet connected to one of these apps called, it's in the background, Sim Dashboard. I have Crew Chief. I have Race Overlay. I have the app here. Made a little message for myself. That's it. And yeah, and the iRacing side here. And on my right, you see, this is what I want to talk about. The TrackIR software. So yeah, as you see, there's a little sensor or camera looking at my headset here, and I've put a reflex on it, the original track clip I think it's called, and yeah, it's a TrackIR5 kit. I bought it for 80 euros used of an old guy playing sim racing. He didn't use it no more. He's not racing, and yeah, and I haven't. I've used it ever since. As you see, the software here, it's 6 directions of freedom. Yorkie described the software pretty well, that you can adjust dead zones and profiles to different games. You can eliminate some of the movements you can do, or make them slower or faster, or just have it one by one, like 100% emulate exactly your head movement. It doesn't use a lot of performance. Actually, it doesn't drag your system down. So that's a really nice piece of software. I can put my head forward, tilt, and it's really following. And I've adjusted it so it's kind of a bit soft in the middle zones. So my head is not. I'm usually looking very much straight forward. Yeah, and it's very precise. So what I think that Yorkie maybe missed out on, or is missing out on, is I checked his specs, and he's using a 35-inch screen. And when you look at the video, he's moving the head but looking straight all the time almost. And then I think you're missing some of the good of what the TrackIR can do. So I made a little comparison here. He's using a 35-inch screen, and that's equivalent to 83 centimeters of screen estate. If you have a 49-inch screen, you can buy a lot of these screens on the market right now. That equals to 120 centimeters, and I'm talking horizontal now, not the diagonal measure. So he has 80 centimeters, a 49-inch has 120 centimeters, but a lot of sim racers use triples. And this is triples times 27-inch, so they are 61 centimeters each, horizontal, and that equals for 183 centimeters. And when I use that, when I race, I don't, and I really think this is a benefit and a good effect of this here. I don't use the screens as screens. I use them as a window in the car. It's not VR and it's not screens, but I can move my head and look out the window, or look down or up or whatever, or into the apex if I need that. And you can't do that on a 35 inch screen without making it uncomfortable. I think he got used to it. You can see he's totally locked in, has full control of it, and so you can get used to anything. Of course you can, and I'm not saying this is better than anything else, but I really think you're getting maximum out of your TrackIR having a big or wide screen. Yeah, that's 100 centimeters more screen space you have to navigate your head, and it feels very natural to look left and right for this. Yeah, these are curved, 27 inches and 1440p, 144 hertz. Let me start up iRacing. And cheers, a little beer here. And by the way, I use the tablet SimDash for lap times and fuel consumption. Like it makes some average for me, but also track temperature, live track temperature, and time of day, and brake balance or brake bias. I really like having an external screen. That takes me to the next subject of having a TrackIR and not a headset where you're in the virtual world. You can see all your hardware. You can see the steering wheel just as it is, not a virtual steering wheel where you have to guess where the buttons is. Naturally, you can get used to that, and I've had VR myself also, and you get used to everything. But having the option to see your buttons just as they are, and a button box on the right, you don't have to search navigate it, or you can look at the display over there. I think that's really it gives a very nice feeling to driving your sim. It feels like you can looking out the window here, and you have all these dials, whatever gadgets you're looking at, just like in a real car. Move your head and you move your head. Another thing I think is quite important. I'll just show you now. Here I even use the button box because I can adjust the height. You see, just mapped that one. So let's say here, and you see it's 100% real time. I can adjust the FOV if I just put it to 7. So I didn't end my sentence earlier. And 1440 times 2560 times 3 gives a lot of fidelity, and I've tried some VR headsets, and naturally this is a way sharper, and you can see further if you ask me. And the last main point why I like using triples with TrackIR is I can have a more narrow FOV, because I can move the head and I see a lot more. I can see the guy's wheels and car, and over there if I want to. You can navigate so much better, and having a narrow field of view, I feel I'm more in the zone, if you might say. So that's I really enjoy that, and it's very useful to be able to see, okay, am I being outbrake, or is he outbraking me, or like how far is he, or where's the apex, and so on. And yeah, I just center it. So I usually use my headrest as a like base position, and then I have the Freedom 6 axis, yaw, pitch, and roll, and what are they called in space. Yeah, let me make sure I'm not missing a point. Oh yeah, last thing, I'm not using, you see here, there's some reflexes. I'm not using the, he said a minus about the TrackIR is Yorkie said, is the, you have another USB cable, and you don't have to. The TrackClip Pro, or TrackClip, what it's called, is actually just as good as the IR sensors. I tried the IR sensors before, and it didn't give me anything different. Actually, I noticed that moving my head too much to one side would actually block the view from the TrackIR. This one doesn't, because they're curved on the top. So you really need to be very hard to not be able to look. You can see how far I can look. I can look completely to that screen, So yeah, and up there you can see 2 lights, and when it loses connection, Like if I put my hand in, you can see. That's then you know the game is loaded and does it have contact. The left one is contact, so no contact, contact. And as he mentioned, there can be a problem if direct sunlight or something hits the reflexes correctly, like very precisely into that one, and then it fucks up. So have some curtains and you're all set. Let me take you for a lap in the M8 on Coda. Yeah, you can navigate the mirrors better. Oops. Even though if they're not adjusted. I have super cold tires. So yeah. What last thing I want to say is I'm not sorry, no focus. Last thing I want to say is I'm not over exaggerating my head movement in the car. You know, I'm mostly looking quite much forward. It's only on those extra occasions that I'm really looking sharply to the left or right or into the apex. Like I'll show you a corner down here where I actually use it in race. For my benefit, if you ask. A lot of people say they can't see the corner, but here I can see the apex all the time now. My tires are cold, so sorry. But usually the pillar over there would be in the way. So yeah, I really enjoy this system, and yeah, been using it for 2 years now. So yeah, thanks for watching. I really wanted to share my settings, my system, and the benefits of TrackIR with triples on a bigger screen state, what you call it. Hope you liked the video, and yeah, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, down, whatever, and take care. Keep racing.